JF Stretford, Paddock, this is the paper talk. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford, where it's not too bad actually. I've just took my parker off, I put it on the floor, but I might have to put it back on a bit later because the clouds are gathering. Anyway, on to the latest news, and listen, I'm going to mention Jadon Sancho and I'm going to move on because I'm sure everyone is sick of hearing about Jadon Sancho, oh, an official bid, oh, an improved bid, and all the rest of it. But I will give you an update because he has been in the news, and the latest update is that Manchester United, as we saw over the weekend, have made an improved bid. The initial proposal, this is from Sky Sports, was believed to be £67 million up front, plus £8 million in add-ons. And United have gone in with an improved offer, which is believed to be more than 75 million. So there's a bit of movement there with Jadon Sancho. I don't need to go into the details. I'm sure you're sick of hearing about it. I'm sure you're all up to date and you know what's going on. We will keep you posted if there is any movement. It's now up to Dortmund to decide whether they want to accept that offer, whether they want to say no, whether United are going to improve it at all, how that deal is structured, whether it's the add-ons that are the issue, whether it's the total that is the issue, whether it's the payment plan that is the issue, whatever it is. It'll just be a massive relief for a multitude of reasons when Jadon Sancho eventually, hopefully, becomes a Manchester United player. I think he's going to be a United player sooner or later. Even we can't mess this up after all that's gone on, can we? Famous last words. But yeah, we'll keep you posted on that one. There's not really any updates than what we've had over the weekend. Another story doing the rounds this morning is about Paul Pogba. Pogba obviously playing really well in the Euros, even though France didn't have the greatest game against Hungary. United apparently have offered him a new deal, a 5-year contract, a 5-year deal, making him one of the highest paid Premier League players, in fact the highest paid Premier League player, with around a £400,000 a week offer. He's set to be offered a contract extension, as I've said. If he accepts it, that'll take him up to, I think his deal for United runs out next year, so it'll take him up to around 2027, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's been reported in a lot of papers. It seems to sort of the same papers reporting it. It's doing the rounds, this story, so there may be some sort of fire to that smoke, if you will. He's 28 years old. A 5-year deal takes him up to, well, you know, if you look at it, around 33, 34. He's an extremely talented and extremely fit footballer as well. I think he could play well into his 30s. So it makes a lot of sense. I think the danger with Paul Pogba is that he'll just leave. He'll go to Juventus when his contract expires. Now, Manchester United, apparently, on the Paul Pogba front, have also slapped a bit of a price tag on him of around £68.8 million. This is another story doing the rounds. So there's two sort of simultaneous stories about Paul Pogba in the papers this morning. One, that Manchester United have offered him this 5-year deal, making him the highest paid Premier League player. And another, that Manchester United have slapped a £68.8 million price tag on him to sort of, not fend off, but to put Juventus on notice. Juventus apparently is surprised at this price tag because he's only got a year left on his deal. What worries me about Paul Pogba is, I don't want him to go. I'd rather he stayed. I think we need him. I think he's a very talented footballer, as I've said. And if he goes, I don't know if we'll replace him properly. I have no faith in the circus that calls itself the Manchester United board or our owners to adequately replace a player like Paul Pogba. And also, if he does go and we let him run his contract down, he goes for nothing. And we haven't even got any money if we wanted to reinvest that money into a new player. And that would just be the ultimate irony, wouldn't it, if Juventus got Paul Pogba offers twice for nothing and actually made us pay £89 million in between that for him. Is that the biggest joke in the history of Manchester United or what? Hey, we given Paul Pogba for practically nothing in 2012. We bought him back in 2016 for £89 million. And then in 2022, they take him off us again for nothing. The mind boggles, doesn't it? Hopefully that doesn't happen, but you just never know with Manchester United Football Club, do you? As always, we'll keep you posted on what's going down with Paul Labille. Hopefully, like I said, he stays, but with a year left on his deal, it's looking tetchy. I'm a little bit concerned that things may not be going the way we want them to. We have offered him a deal. It's up to him now whether he'll take it. We know we're dealing as well with Mino Raiola. That absolute, easy to deal with, lovely man who never has an issue and absolutely adores Manchester United Football Club. So what could possibly go wrong dealing with Mino Raiola with a year left on Paul's contract? It could be a bit of a shambles, that one. Moving on, United, this is a story doing the rounds, and I feel like this is one of those stories where the press or the papers just put Man United in the title to try and get those extra clicks, because we know that if you want clicks, you put Man United in the title, especially when it's a story that focuses on City, because they, most people don't click on stories about Man City, but they will click on stories about Man United. I know that's not the biggest thing you can brag about, but it's just true, isn't it? So yeah, there's a story doing the rounds in the Mirror. It says here that Man City hand rivals Man United advantage in Man City hand rivals Man United advantage in Sergio Ramos transfer race. So it's saying here that City apparently have pulled out of the race for Real Madrid star Sergio Ramos, who's departing the La Liga giants Real Madrid after a 16-year spell there. So he's leaving. United have been linked with him, as have Manchester City, and the latest reports are, and this is coming from AS over in Spain, that City aren't that keen on him after all. They're not going to pursue him, so that hands Manchester United an advantage there. You say, well, if City don't want him, that gives Manchester United an advantage. But at the bottom of this article, it's almost like they do this article, and then at the end of it, they'll sort of go, forget everything we just said, it doesn't matter. They go, in a blow to United though, AS state that League One giant, so everyone's a giant apparently, Paris Saint-Germain are Ramos' most likely destination, with Pochettino's side his favourite option. So he's not coming to United anyway, so they're not handing us an advantage. He's just got a Paris Saint-Germain. So what's all that about? Don't blame me, I'm just here to tell you what's being reported. But that is just a load of rubbish, isn't it? So yeah, I wouldn't expect to see Sergio Ramos rocking up anytime soon in a United shirt anyway. He might rock up in a Paris Saint-Germain shirt if we play him in the Champions League next season. Also, on another story that again feels like this might not be the most accurate story doing the rounds, but it is being reported. It's in the Express, that bastion of journalistic integrity. They're saying that Manchester United have lodged a transfer offer, in inverted commas, but Jurgen Klopp wants Liverpool hijack. So, that feels like this. Those stories where it goes, United and Liverpool go head-to-head for much sought after Spanish star or whatever. Well, it says here, this is an Italian star, or a star who's over in Italy. Manchester United have lodged a transfer bid for Atalanta star Christian Romero, according to reports. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to bolster his defence in this summer's window, but a deal for the 23-year-old won't be straightforward, with Liverpool also in the mix. That's a saying that covers all sorts of sins, doesn't it? Also in the mix. What does that mean? Do you know what I mean? Yes, we're also in the mix. Liverpool are in the mix for this player the same way that I'm in the mix to play for Manchester United. It sounds like there's just a load of rubbish that done it. It says Manchester United have been linked with a variety of defenders. Sounds like a cooking show, this. In the mix, a variety of defenders. Even if Rafael Varane is understood to be their top target. Sergio Ramos' departure from Real Madrid has seen the Red Devils dragged into the question with a 35-year-old looking for a new club. So we're in the mix. There's a variety of options, and we've been dragged into the question. Someone just sat down and thought, I've got nothing to do here. How can I make a story out of absolutely nothing? Bit of word soup here, but anyway, United have also been tipped to pursue Brighton's Ben White. So it's all happening. This is like proper transfer saying bingo in it. In the mix, tipped to pursue, variety of defenders. They're just saying it all here. Anyway, it says here, Italian journalist Rudy Galletti, who works for Calcio Mercato and Sports Italia, has claimed United have bid for the Atalanta star, but also that Liverpool are keen on a deal as well. On his Twitter, he said Christian Romero continues to be number one target for Manchester United, off of around €50 million. I mean, if that is true, that's a new one for us. We haven't heard that one yet. He seems quite reputable. I don't know how reputable that story is, though. We'll keep you posted if we are going for Christian Romero. He doesn't seem to be our priority. He doesn't seem to be the one that we're most keen on, even if we are keen on. Rafael Varane seems to be the main option. We spoke to Fabrizio Romano on the Tier 1 Transfer podcast last week, and he said that Varane was a player that Manchester United wanted and it was top of our list. So we'll see what happens with that one. It does seem a little bit like this, this chap's tweeted it. I don't know how reliable his sources are, and that's why the Express are running with that story. It seems unlikely that we're going to go head-to-head with Liverpool for the player, but as always, we'll keep you posted. We'll let you know what's going to go down, whether that is indeed the case. Sometimes papers, like they do with the Manchester City, Manchester United, Sergio Ramos story, like to put two clubs together, like to make it out like we're going head-to-head. There's a bit of a clash. We're both after him. I'm not sure how accurate that is. Liverpool probably could do with a few defenders because, although they don't like to talk about it, they did have some defensive injuries last season and they were a bit short. And just finally, This is it's just a stat doing the rounds, but I thought I'd mention it because it's quite an interesting one. It's United related. Daniel James has created more chances than any other player at Euro 2020 so far, with 8. So he's created 8 chances. I nearly said Spain now. He don't play for Spain, does he? That's how thick I am. I saw someone in a red kit and said Spain. Wales obviously through to the knockout stages of the Euros, despite losing 1-0 to Italy yesterday, going down to 10 men. They managed to get through to the knockout stages for the second time. In 2 competitions, in 2 Euros, back-to-back Euros, they've got through to knockout stages, so well done to Spain. Why do I keep saying Spain? He plays for Italy. No, he doesn't, he plays for Wales. There you go, we got there in the end. Dan James played against Italy for Wales, not Spain. There you see, it's easy. Dan James for Wales has created 8 chances, having a good tournament so far, gets a lot of stick, and also gets a little bit over-the-top credit and praise as well. There seems to be a section of United fans who think he's the best winger we've got, and there's another section who think he's not good enough, and somewhere in the middle is probably accurate. He's having a good tournament as well for Wales, and long may that continue. Hopefully he can progress further in the competition, further than just the knockout stages. Get right the way, all the way to the final. That'd be great to see Dan James doing it. Unlikely, but you never know. So well done to him. He can keep going. We'll keep going as well. We've got loads more stuff coming up. We've got the Paddock podcast later on today. We've also got Transfers Live this evening with myself and Joe. We'll also have a Tier 1 transfer podcast later on this week. We'll have Howson's Brew. We'll have all the other good stuff as well. So make sure you are subscribing, liking and sharing. Hit the notifications bell on your subscribe button as well, so you get a notification when we go live, because as soon as news drops, we'll have it. We'll go live with it, just as we did over the weekend when Manchester United made that improved bid for Jadon Sancho. And we'll keep you posted on the Paul Pogba news as well. United going in with a $5-year deal, for Paul Pogba, giving him a contract extension. We'll let you know what happens with that. I've been Jay Motti. This has been the Paper Talk, reminding myself that Dan James plays for Wales, not Italy or Spain. Thanks for watching.